up, everybody? My name is Dallin Vetter, and this is the beginning of building Hey Jude. So I'll link to the actual Hey Jude channel in the description of this video. But yeah, so as we're building Hey Jude, I'm more or less going to be kind of building out a series of building Hey Jude. And the goal for Hey Jude is to be a very high quality in terms of source and compounds, and it's going to be a peptide company. So just to give a little info about me, I'm a natty and I'm really wary of I wouldn't say supplements, but I'm wary of just putting stuff in your body, especially when it's not regulated. Which is obviously a big thing with peptides right now. I mean, back in 2024, when a bunch of them got listed as class 2 drugs, that spawned like all the gray markets and everything. And I'm definitely not a proponent of that. I think you got to have regulation with stuff. But anyways, so yeah, the goal is to source high quality, you know what you're getting, type of peptides. And on this same kind of journey, I guess, that I'm going to be documenting, I'm also going to be sharing what I learn about peptides, and how what I learn is affecting my opinions on them. So, I mean, just a little bit about what kind of where I'm at mentally right now. So I met Michael through a graduate program I'm doing called Sandbox, which is essentially a startup incubator. So I met him through that, and I tried a couple different ideas. I tried like building an AI mixing tool. Wasn't a ton of pull for that. I had talked about some other ideas with other people, but when I started talking to Michael, that immediately piqued my interest. One, because I'm really into exercise and exercise science stuff. And two, the day before, I had just heard a podcast with Scott Galloway, and it was the Diary of a CEO podcast. And on that podcast, Scott Galloway was talking about how he thinks that the peptide industry, or GLP-1 is what he was talking about, is going to be, in his mind, bigger than the AI industry. And he proposed the example of if someone is on a GLP-1 and they're seeing really good results, chances are if you ask that person, hey, would you rather give up your GLP-1 or AI? Chances are they're going to say they want to give up the AI. So, hence, already being kind of primed to start thinking about the direction of peptides and all that stuff. And yeah, then I met Michael. We launched a website for peptide supply kits, and then we started talking to our mentor. He's like, hey, I think you guys should just sell them. And so yeah, that's where we're at right now. And if I ultimately get to the point where I don't think they're a good idea to use them, then I'll probably have to step away from the brand, because I just can't align myself with something like that, right? But yeah, so my goal is to just be documenting as we're building this, kind of my lifestyle, my routine, and all that kind of stuff. So the docket for today is, well, I already did my meal prep this morning, so my meals are covered for the day. I'm going to head to school, and we're going to kind of talk about some stuff, go over ideas for what our next steps are. And Then we're going to hit a lift in the middle of the day. And then this evening we have Run Club. So, and I'm doing some brand building help with Run Club right now. So, all that to say, I don't think I'll make one of these every day because there's only so much to cover, you know. It's not like we're going to be breaking ground with a ton of new things every single day. We are working on a partnership with a telehealth company to be able to sell FDA-approved peptides legally, not just for research purposes only. And then, yeah. So stay tuned with everything here. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know what I want to do with this. I have an idea of where I want to be. And okay, so yeah, let's just talk about that. Because no one really is going to see this unless it all works out eventually, which it will. Affirmations. I'm sure people will come back to this video or something one day. What I would like to ultimately do is be a sponsored athlete one day. I think it'd be sick to do Gymshark. Maybe that's just because the guys that I follow are Gymshark athletes. But I'd like to do that. And in order to get to that point, we got to build a following, right? But the whole idea is to kind of build a following, build a brand around myself, and let that work in tandem with Hey Jude. So, yeah, this is the beginning of the building Hey Jude series. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, y'all. Midday. This is so awkward. This feels weird. Okay. About to go get the midday lift. And I was just looking at, what's it called? So a couple months ago, Sam Sulek, who I'm a fan of, dropped an announcement about being part of a peptide company that he co-founded. Anyways, we were just looking at that company's site, and they are gray market right now, so they're not FDA approved or anything like that. No shade towards them, but I don't know if I mentioned this in the car. One thing that we're shooting to do right now with Hey Jude is to just do the FDA approved things, because we want to grow this. We want it to be very trustworthy, follow the rules, the guidelines, and make sure that the things people are getting are high quality. They're not going to be dangerous. So that's what we're trying to do right now. And yeah, I mean, right now, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I'm still doing all my research, GLP-1 is one of the only approved peptides, FDA approved. So as soon as we get some sort of partnership with a telehealth company, then we'll be able to start selling GLP-1s, and we'll just move from there. In late July of this year, the FDA is supposed to revisit a handful of the drugs that are currently classified as Class 2 and potentially move them back down. So that's it's kind of the lay of the land right now. But we did learn some cool things from Sam's website, specifically payment processor, because payment processors are iffy when it comes to selling medical supplies. Rightfully so. So we're looking at payment processors that might not get annoyed at us like Stripe is getting. So yeah, that's where we're at. But we're about to go hit a lift. I'll relink in my car. All right. Today is a leg day. So I think we're going to start with squats. And I'm currently on like recovery from a low back injury. So I haven't been able to squat as much as I once could. I think my max of all time is 365. And that was after doing Squat-tober in fall of 24 with Milo. But yeah, we're working on our way back to get back to, honestly, what I'd like to do is I'd like to just be able to do 3 plates for 10. So 315 for 10, and that's just almost treat it like a warm-up for the rest of the leg lift. So I kind of have this weird mental philosophy. It's just like a me thing where I want to do deadlift 4 plates. Done that before, but again, like recovering from low back stuff, so I'm getting back to that. But I want to be able to deadlift 4 plates, squat 3 plates, and then bench 2, right, and overhead press 1. And I want to be able to do each of those for 10 reps. So 4-plate deadlift for 10, 3-plate squat for 10, 2-plate bench for 10. And then when it comes to bench, like I include the bench variations. So like flat bench, I can already do 2 plates for 10. Incline, I can do 2 plates for like 5 or 6, but I want to get that to 10 as well. And same with decline, I can already do that for 10. But yeah, no, I like the idea of warming up and then doing your compound lift, which is kind of like your baseline metric. So the baseline compound for back would be deadlifts, do a set of 10 of 405, and then just move on and do the rest of your back routine like normal. And not necessarily trying to kill yourself on the big compound movement, whatever it is, but just having that as like a baseline strength, making sure your body can maintain the ability to do that. Because obviously machines are easier than compounds. So as long as I can maintain those weights with my compound lifts, I'm satisfied with my physical ability. And then the rest of my weightlifting work is longevity / aesthetic focused. So something I didn't mention this morning is that I started a cut on Wednesday, or on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. And I capped it at 3,000 calories because 3,000 is like my base metabolic burn. So yeah, I capped it at 3,000, and I'm going to slowly wean my way down to 2,000 as the weight loss slows down. Last year when I did a cut, I dropped from 225 down to 183, and that was 2,000 calorie limit the entire time. This time I want to kind of do a wean down. And yeah, if I even need to. I mean, I know I'll need to because as I get lighter, my body needs less to burn to an extent. But yeah, so on the cut, I will start showing probably more gym content as I get more aesthetic. But yeah, we're sitting at, this morning was 204.8, and the goal is to get down to 170. So we'll see how long that takes. But yeah, today's leg day, so start with squats, and then we'll probably do I'll probably warm up with leg curls and leg extensions before squats. Then do squat, maybe like RDL. I did pull my hamstring last week, so I got to be more careful with my hamstring. Like last Saturday, I couldn't do any RDLs because it was too tender. So yeah, we'll see. I'll do a recap afterwards though. Not going to do gym content yet. Got to build up the guts for that one. So yeah. What I will film tonight though is Run Club. I'm going to Run Club tonight. So I will probably see you guys after the gym and then Run Club. So yeah, jump to that. All right. No, come on, Jay. You gotta
What?
say hi. This is the homie Jay. He's the Korean homie. We're at Run Club.
Where's your AirPod?
In the gym bag. we're at Run Club right now, so we're gonna try and get some good footage for the club. Hopefully help them out a little bit. Well, this is me doing a little send-off for the evening. Good first day. The one hurdle we ran into is that Stripe is not going to, they're not down to do our payments. So we did find another company that is on pause. There we go. So we did do some research into the peptide company that Sam Sulek it helped start, which, like I said before, it's a gray market company. But even though we're not pursuing the gray market, we know that the gray market payment processors would be down for what we're doing. So that's the route we're going to take. We're talking to that payment processor. We're in chat with them. Still working on the open loop stuff. And yeah, we're just going from there. Tomorrow is going to be more vlog. Might show a little bit of my push day. We'll see. And yeah, that's that. So, I mean, this is the beginning. I'm not going to do vlogs every day, but I'm going to shoot content every day, and that's kind of the idea. But I want this to be my first video. Today's day. And yeah, that's it. I'll catch y'all in the next one.